Hello and welcome. Namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. The 80th United Nations General Assembly begins with its chief presenting the world body's annual report. Secretary General Antonio Guterres calls for ending Gaza, Ukraine and Sudan conflicts during his address. US President Donald Trump is set to address the UNGA later tonight. The White House says he'll talk about his vision for the world, targeting globalist institutions. Palestinian recognition gains momentum on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly, deepening the global divide over Israel's Gaza offensive. An iconic actor Mohanlal receives Dada Saheb Phalke Award and Shah Rukh Khan gets his first National Film Award for Jawan. First up, French President Emmanuel Macron has formally recognized the state of Palestine, aligning with the growing number of Western nations ahead of the UN General Assembly. At a high-level summit co-hosted by France and Saudi Arabia in Paris, 6 nations, France, Andorra, Belgium, Luxembourg, Malta and Monaco, announced their recognition of Palestinian statehood. And speaking later at the UN in New York, Macron declared the time for peace has come, adding that nothing justifies the ongoing conflict in Gaza.
Pour la paix entre le peuple israélien.
For peace between the Israeli people and the Palestinian people, I declared that France today recognizes the state of Palestine. The time has come to stop the war, the bombings in Gaza, the massacres and the fleeing populations. The time for peace has come because we are moments away from no longer being able to grasp it.
Aujourd'hui, l'État de Palestine.
Dozens of world leaders gathered at the United Nations to advocate for a Palestinian state, marking a significant diplomatic shift nearly 2 years into the Gaza conflict. Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan, addressing the Israeli-Palestinian two-state solution summit, underscored Riyadh's commitment to peace efforts and called for an independent Palestinian state based on the 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian departed Tehran on Tuesday to attend the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. He is expected to deliver a speech and hold bilateral meetings with several world leaders, including UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Earlier, Guterres expressed disappointment over the absence of full Palestinian representation at the summit and condemned the ongoing conflict.
I also want to acknowledge the Palestinian delegation and once again note my disappointment that they were denied the opportunity to be fully represented.
Now, France's recognition of Palestinian statehood, along with others, has been met with strong criticism from Israel. Israel's ambassador to France, Joshua El Zarqa, called the move a waste of diplomatic efforts and described it as a hostile decision which could destabilize the Middle East or West Asia.
The President's announcement of last night, I think when it comes to the history of diplomacy in the Middle East, is one of the biggest wastes of a significant tool that could have helped promoting peace. And instead of that, is creating unrest. France is unfortunately becoming a destabilizing agent in the Middle East because of their, I don't know if what is behind it, but the need for them to make statements that are, more show than anything else.
US President Donald Trump will be addressing the United Nations General Assembly tonight to emphasize America First world view. The speech will come at a precarious moment on the world stage, with conflicts raging in Ukraine and Gaza despite Trump's efforts to play peacemaker. The White House has said he will talk about his vision for the world, targeting globalist institutions. And in a New York UNGA moment, cameras caught French President Emmanuel Macron phoning Donald Trump after getting stuck in New York City as Trump's motorcade blocked the street. After a long winding speech at the United Nations General Assembly, the French president was returning to the embassy to retire for the day. However, it turned out to be a long night for Macron as he was stopped by the New York police to let Donald Trump's convoy pass. It left Macron stranded on the streets of New York as all roads were blocked for Trump's passage. Flustered, Macron then stepped out of his car and also approached the police and finally called up Donald Trump. Now, Russia has warned that allowing the New START nuclear treaty with the United States to expire in February 2026 would pose significant risks to global security. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has said that without an extension or new agreement, both the nations could face an arms race with no bilateral framework for regulating strategic nuclear weapons. Russian President Putin has proposed a one-year extension of the treaty's limits on deployed warheads, but emphasized that Russia would take unspecified actions if the US does not agree. White House has also expressed interest in the proposal, but no further discussions have been scheduled. The treaty caps the number of deployed nuclear warheads at 1,550 for each country, and both the nations possess the largest nuclear arsenals in the world. NATO on Tuesday warned Russia that it would use all means to defend against any further breaches of its airspace after the downing earlier this month of Russian drones over Poland and Estonia's report of an intrusion of Russian fighters last week.
Following the meeting, allies issued a strong statement of solidarity and resolve. They condemned Russia's reckless actions, which are escalatory, risk miscalculation, and endanger lives. Allies affirmed yet again that our shared commitment to collective defense is unshakable. We do not want to see a continuation of this dangerous pattern by Russia, intentional or not, but we stand ready and willing to continue to defend every inch of Allied territory.
Now, Russia has dismissed claims by Denmark and Norway of airspace violations as unfounded. Speaking to reporters during a conference call, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said repeated claims of airspace violations have been unfounded and could not be taken seriously.
If ones make those unfounded accusations and they continue doing it, such statement cannot be taken seriously. We hear those unfounded accusations very often. Maybe a side that hold a serious and responsible position should not make such statement time and time again.
A group of US lawmakers on a rare visit to Beijing brought up a deal with top Chinese leaders which would see China commit to buy more Boeing jets. US Ambassador to China David Perdue said he thought the negotiations had entered their last days or weeks, adding that the deal is very important to the president. Boeing is in talks to sell as many as 500 jets to China, representing a major breakthrough for the company in the world's second largest aviation market, where orders have stalled amid US-China trade tensions. Indonesia and the European Union have finalized negotiations on a trade agreement Tuesday after nearly a decade of talks. The Indonesia-European Union Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement is the third deal Brussels has signed with Southeast Asian nations after Singapore and Vietnam. The pact was signed by EU Trade Commissioner Maro Sefcovic and Indonesian Minister of Economic Affairs Erlangga Hartarto in Bali. The pact will open investment in strategic sectors such as electric vehicles, electronics and pharmaceuticals. The EU said in a statement without providing details that the trade deal also includes a protocol on palm oil. Let's now take a look at some other stories making news around the world. South Korean court has issued a detention warrant for Unification Church leader Han Hak-ja in connection with allegations of lobbying to obtain favors for her church. She is also accused of bribery involving former First Lady Kim Kyon-hee, including the delivery of an expensive necklace and designer bag. With Ragasa expected to bring storm surges, residents and businesses in flood-prone districts including Tayo are on high alert. The super typhoon is currently about 350 kilometers southeast of Hong Kong and is expected to move west-northwestwards at about 22 kilometers per hour and gradually move towards the coast of Guangdong in China. Copenhagen Airport has reopened after unidentified drones caused a shutdown on Tuesday. Passengers queued up after the reopening. The unidentified drones caused dozens of flights to be diverted or cancelled, disrupting thousands of passengers in Denmark and Norway. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. India and Morocco strengthened defence ties with the inauguration of Tata Advanced Systems manufacturing facility in Casablanca. And former iconic cricket umpire Dickie Bird has passed away at the age of 92.
We have with us the living legend who needs no introduction. 5 National Film Awards, 9 State Film Awards, 2 Padma Awards, and now the ultimate Dada Saheb Phalke Award.
It's a great honor and it's a quick reflection where he is. Entertainment industry is very huge and possibilities are amazing. If you ask, I can say Amitabh Bachchan. Amazing. He's one of the greatest artists in the country.
How do you see the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Prime Minister is doing what he's doing is a perfect tapas for the country. And it is showing.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, President Draupadi Murmu presented the 71st National Film Awards in New Delhi. The awards were given in various categories to celebrate excellence in filmmaking, storytelling and acting. Veteran actor, director and producer Mohan Lal received the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Award for the year 2023, honouring his legacy in Indian cinema.
Being recognized for his monumental contributions, unparalleled versatility, artistry that have profoundly shaped narrative cinema, inspired generations of artists, cemented his legacy as a cultural phenomena, and a great master of...
Vikrant Messi, starrer 12th Fail, won the Best Feature Film Award at the ceremony as well. Messi himself got the award for the Best Actor category for this very film.
Once aimless, later unstoppable to become an IPS officer.
And megastar Shah Rukh Khan bagged the Best Actor award as well. He shared it with Messi for his performance in the film Jawan. This is his first National Film Award.
Delivers a powerhouse performance in Jawan, bringing to life a hero who battles not only enemies but also social boundaries.
And Rani Mukherjee also received the Best Actress Award for her role in Mrs. Chatterjee vs.
Norway, a film that portrays maternal love, resilience, cultural conflict with piercing emotional clarity and unwavering authenticity.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated the Startup Conclave 2025 in Gujarat's Gandhinagar on Tuesday. The conclave was organized under the theme of Elevate, Innovate and Accelerate, and Gandhinagar's Mahatma Mandir, with the minister highlighting how students, industry leaders and entrepreneurs will be discussing ways to realize Prime Minister Narendra Modi's mission of making India's mark in the startup world.
ये 2 दिन का कॉन्क्लेव मोदी जी ने जो मिशन शुरू किया है, स्टार्टअप की दुनिया में भारत की पहचान बनाने का, इसके सभी पहलुओं पर चिंता भी करेगा, चिंतन भी करेगा और समाधान भी ढूंढेगा। गुजरात में 2023 में पहले स्टार्टअप कॉन्क्लेव के अनुसंधान में हुआ है। उसमें लगभग 250 स्टार्टअप ने अपना प्रदर्शन किया था। यूनिकॉर्न स्थापित कंपनियों ने भी अपना प्रदर्शन किया था और उससे जो अनुभव आया और उससे जो फायदा हुआ, इसी का विश्लेषण कर गुजरात सरकार ने आज 2025 में स्टार्टअप कॉन्क्लेव 2025 का शुरुआत किया है।
India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and his Moroccan counterpart Abdul Latif Lodhi jointly inaugurated Tata Advanced Systems Limited's new manufacturing facility in Casablanca for the production of indigenously developed WHAP 8x8s. Delivering the inaugural address, the minister highlighted the evolving bilateral relations between India and Morocco. He further said that the inauguration of this defence manufacturing facility established by an Indian company in a matter of pride for Indian defence industry, highlighting the spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
आज का यह आयोजन केवल एक इंडस्ट्रियल माइलस्टोन नहीं है, यह दोनों देशों के बीच बढ़ते हुए स्ट्रेटेजिक कन्वर्जेंस का एक सशक्त प्रतीक है। इस फैसिलिटी की स्थापना वास्तव में एक ऐतिहासिक क्षण है। यह उन शुरुआती विदेशी डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लांट्स में से एक है जिसे किसी भारतीय कंपनी ने स्थापित किया है। यह केवल टाटा एडवांस सिस्टम्स के लिए ही नहीं, बल्कि पूरे इंडियन डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री के लिए एक बहुत ही उल्लेखनीय कदम है।
India's Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi called on Sri Lankan Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasurya in Colombo on Tuesday. Admiral Tripathi held comprehensive talks on strengthening bilateral defence and maritime cooperation. The Navy Chief also engaged with senior defence officials and commanders from Sri Lanka's Navy, Air Force and Army to discuss advancing joint training, operational synergy and participation in Indian-hosted events like the Admiral's Cup, International Fleet Review and Milan. The Naval Chief is on a 4-day visit to Sri Lanka, in which he is scheduled to participate in the Galle Dialogue on Wednesday. Earlier today, speaking at Colombo's National Defence College, the Navy Chief called for continued agility and collaboration between two nations' armed forces, highlighting India-Sri Lanka's deep historical and strategic partnership in the Indian Ocean region. India's Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan launched a Viksit Bharat Buildathon 2025 in New Delhi on Tuesday. The initiative aims to nurture creativity, problem-solving and self-reliance among the youth. The Department of School Education and Literacy of the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Atal Innovation Mission of Niti Aayog, is organizing Viksit Bharat Buildathon 2025 on the 13th of October this year. This will inspire young minds to ideate, design and build prototypes on themes of Atmanirbhar Bharat, Swadeshi, Vocal for Local and Samriddha Bharat. The students can register for Buildathon from today till the 6th of next month. Speaking on the occasion, the minister said that in the last 11 years, Prime Minister Modi has given priority to innovation. He said that the government has also launched the Atal Innovation Mission to promote innovation among school students.
भारत में पिछले 11 साल के अंदर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने इनोवेशन को एक प्राथमिकता की विषय बनाई है। अटल इनोवेशन मिशन जैसे इनिशिएटिव शुरू करके देश के स्कूली बच्चों के अंदर नवाचार की प्रवृत्ति बढ़े, नवाचार के प्रति आग्रह बढ़े, उनकी इंक्लिनेशन इनोवेशन की ओर बढ़े और इनोवेटर बने, मेमोराइजेशन से क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग की तरफ जाएं। इसीलिए उन्होंने अटल टिंकरिंग लैब की कल्पना की। आज देश में सफलता के साथ 10,000 अटल टिंकरिंग लैब काम कर रहे हैं। न केवल विदेश में रहने वाले सीबीएसई बोर्ड्स के स्कूल, धीरे धीरे अटल टिंकरिंग लैब की कंसेप्ट ग्लोबल साउथ में भी जाएगा।
Let's get to some sports now. India is in discussions with the government of Sri Lanka. In fact, not sports, but we do have cricketing ties with Sri Lanka, extensive ones. But we're looking to include a memorandum of understanding and cooperation in Ayurveda. The Indian High Commissioner Santosh Shah announced today. And speaking at the 10th Ayurveda Day celebrations in Colombo, he underlined that Ayurveda is an important part of the shared cultural heritage between the two nations. The event was held at Colombo University under the theme Ayurveda for People and Planet. Sri Lanka's Minister of Health and Mass Media, Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, expressed appreciation for India's continued support in the field. The commemoration under the theme Ayurveda for People and Planet at the University of Colombo was jointly organized by Sri Lanka's Department of Ayurveda, the High Commission of India, the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Centre and the faculties of Indigenous Medicine of Colombo and Gampaha Vikramarachi universities. During the program, distinguished Ayurveda pioneer Professor R.S. Jayavardhane was also felicitated.
Ayurveda serves as a profound bridge between India and Sri Lanka, connecting the two nations through our shared heritage.
And now it's time for sports. In Asia Cup, Pakistan have won the toss and chosen to field against Sri Lanka in a must-win Super 4 clash in Abu Dhabi. Sri Lanka topped Pool B by winning all three of their group stage matches against Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Hong Kong. But they lost their opening Super 4 match against Bangladesh on Saturday, denting their chances of qualifying for the final. Similarly, Pakistan's hopes of qualifying for the final suffered a blow as well when they lost to India by 6 wickets in their opening Super 4's encounter. The Super 4s being played in a round-robin format have given both teams another chance to book their spot in the final. However, the loser of this game will be virtually eliminated from the tournament. Iconic former cricket umpire Dickie Bird has passed away at the age of 92 on Tuesday. Bird, whose first-class playing career was cut short by injury, became one of the most famous umpires in the game. He officiated in 66 tests and 76 one-day internationals, including 3 World Cup finals. Dickie Bird enjoyed an illustrious career as an international umpire, writing his name into history as the most famous and popular official in the game's history. Bird's home county, Yorkshire, with which he played and served as his president as well, described him as a national treasure, known not only for his umpiring excellence but also for his eccentricities and warmth. Now, Paris Saint-Germain winger Ousmane Dembele clinched the Ballon d'Or in Paris for his starring role in the club's Champions League triumph last season. The 28-year-old France forward Dembele became the 6th French player to lift the award and the first since Karim Benzema in 2022. He beat Spain and Barcelona forward Lamine Yamal, with his PSG teammate Vitinha taking 3rd place. With Spain's Aitana Bonmati, the Champions League player of the season, won the Women's Ballon d'Or for the 3rd time in a row. The Paris Saint-Germain, who won the treble of Champions League, Ligue 1 and the French Cup last season, were named the team of the season. Luis Enrique was voted best coach and Gianluigi Donnarumma was recognized as top goalkeeper with the Yashin Trophy.
Are you ready for the big one?
While England's manager Serena Wiegman was honoured as the Women's Coach of the Year after leading her side to the European title. And that's all we have for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. Just scan the QR code on the screen and download the app right away. And we'll be back with more news as breaks here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy, and from all of us here, thanks for watching DD India Live.